Let's head around the Inside Politics table, ask our great reporters to get you out ahead of the big political news just around the corner. Karen?
Well, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but I'm going to be focusing, I think, a lot this week on the degree to which a town hall format is going to test a completely different set of skills from both of these candidates. For Trump, it's going to be his capacity for empathy and engagement with an individual's problems. And I think with Hillary Clinton, it's going to be a question of whether she too can connect and not go into sort of lawyer litigator mode.
I can't wait. I think it's fascinating. It's going to be great. John?
Mike Pence is not leaving the Commonwealth after the debate tomorrow. He is going to be sticking around, having a rally in the Shenandoah Valley. Not a frequent campaign stop in October of election years for candidates for president and vice president. Now, why is he doing that? The Trump campaign believes that they can bring the state back into play. Hillary Clinton has not been on the air in Virginia since August, but the Trump folks believe that they have an opening if they can get more conservatives out to vote. Now, that's where you go to find conservatives in the state, in the Shenandoah Valley. The challenge for the Trump folks is that even if they maximize their turnout in rural Virginia, they still have a huge problem. A third of the state's voters live around D.C., and they are sour on Mr. Trump.
Well, we'll watch that one. Glenn?
Well, I talked a little bit earlier about Hillary's potential challenge with Gary Johnson being fairly strong in the West. Well, the thing that could move the dial is we've heard about these dark murmurings by Roger Stone and Julian Assange about a new WikiLeaks batch of hacked emails. Those would be quite likely to probably cover a lot of the same ground that the DNC hack did. Hillary's folks conspiring against the Sanders folks, clearly that is a core strategy of the Trump campaign, insofar as they have one, is to pull those voters away from Hillary Clinton. So I think all of us are going to be watching to sort of see what WikiLeaks comes up with this week.
See if it comes. It's October. It's time for surprises.
We were talking earlier about North Carolina. A couple of numbers to think about as Hillary Clinton tries to turn that state blue. In 2012, 80% of eligible black voters voted in North Carolina. They obviously voted overwhelmingly for Obama, 96%. He still lost that state by 92,000 votes. He lost it because of his weakness among white voters. He only got 31% of white voters. That was down from 35% in 2008. So she's really got some work to do. In some ways, you feel like the black vote was maximized in 2012. Can she do that again and make some inroads with white voters as well?
Keep an eye on that trip. I'll close with this. Bill Weld won't be at the VP debate tomorrow night because the Libertarian ticket didn't make the cut. But he wants you to know he's a happy warrior, and he wants you to know he's in the race to the end. The former Massachusetts governor is the number 2 on the Libertarian ticket, as Glenn noted a minute ago, headed by Gary Johnson of What is Aleppo fame. Now, Well has told friends he would be horrified if libertarians helped Donald Trump win the presidency by drawing support disproportionately from voters who otherwise would back Hillary Clinton. As a result, there's been some speculation that Weld might actually quit the ticket if there's evidence libertarians are helping Trump. But earlier today on CNN's New Day, Weld said he believed the libertarians in the end will hurt Trump more by attracting moderate Republicans. And in any event, he insists he's in the race to the end.